The next version of Apple's iPhone will have infrared-based facial recognition unlocking, eliminating need for a passcode or fingerprint, and will have an almost all-screen design on the front, say developers digging into the pre-release of firmware distributed by Apple. The firmware for the upcoming HomePod smart speaker, which is due for release at the end of the year, was pushed out via Apple's developer system last week. It was found to contain references to other devices in its code, including the next version of the iPhone. It is unclear whether the HomePod firmware was distributed intentionally for developers to start building systems to interact with the speaker ahead of release, or leaked by accident by Apple. The code references a device codenamed D22, which developers Steve Troughton-Smith and Guilherme Rambo say is the next big revision of the iPhone, which may or may not be called the iPhone 8, iPhone X, or iPhone 10, and is expected to be announced as soon as September but potentially not released until the end of the year or later. Steve T.S. at Troughton-Smith, I can confirm reports that HomePod's firmware reveals the existence of upcoming iPhone's infrared face unlock in biometric it and elsewhere. Pic. Twitter.com, YLSGCX70TZ. July 31, 2017. The developers say that Apple's codename for the face recognition feature is Pearl ID, and that there are references to it throughout the HomePod firmware, which contains much of the next version of iOS 11 due to be released later this year. Further probing of the firmware found an icon used to represent the D22 device, which shows a smartphone without Apple's traditional home button and a screen that almost entirely fills the front of the device with only a cutout at the top for the front-facing camera, sensors and speaker. Guilherme Rambo, @_inside, me too. New bezel-less form factor as well. Pic. Twitter.com, Y0RRSOK200. July 31, 2017. The near bezel-less design has long been expected, with leaks and rumors suggesting that Apple was following Samsung's design moves with the Galaxy S8 and producing a smartphone that resembles Android creator Andy Rubin's upcoming Essential phone. Apple is not the first company to use IR-based face recognition as a means of unlocking devices and authenticating users. Microsoft's Windows Hello IR-based face recognition is found in its Surface line as well as Windows 10 computers from other manufacturers.